Fans call him the next Zlatan. Alexander Isak is the rising star whose journey from a small town to the biggest football stages is nothing short of the extraordinary. We'll uncover everything there is to know, including his expensive properties, salary, net worth, and relationship. Alexander Isak was born on the 21st of September 1999 and was raised in the municipality of Solna, Sweden, to Eritrean parents who migrated to Europe in search of greener pastures. Isak grew up alongside his brother in a modest family setting in central Stockholm County and was introduced to football at a tender age. As immigrants, Isak's parents worked hard to make ends meet so that they could send the kids to good schools with a positive academic environment that included extracurricular activities including football. As you'd bet, one particular player caught young Isak's eye, and it was none other than Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Isak idolized a Swedish legend and hoped to be like him someday. At the age of 6, Isak had passed the trials and was selected to join his municipality's local side, ICA Football. It was just what he needed to set the stage for his career as the new Zlatan. Here's how it's played out so far. At just 16, Isak became the youngest scorer in ICA's history. In 2017, he moved to the Bundesliga for 9 million euros after Borussia Dortmund became interested in him. The word on the street was that Isak even turned down a move to Real Madrid. Despite having trouble adapting to the German league, he persevered before securing a loan to Dutch Eredivisie club Willem II the following season. Isak notched 12 goals in his first 12 games with the club and enjoyed lots of individual success. He would then sign a 5-year deal with Real Sociedad in July 2019. Isak reached new heights with Real Sociedad as he reached double figures for goals in each of his 3 seasons with the club. He also played a huge role in Sociedad's Copa del Rey win in the 2019 and 2020 season. Isak's stock was on the rise, and it's no surprise that Newcastle was willing to splash up $70 million for the Swedish man in the summer of 2022. Isak got off to a good start, winning the man of the match and scoring a goal on his debut as Newcastle lost 2-1 to Liverpool. Isak scored 10 goals in his first season with Newcastle as the club rewrote history by finishing in 4th position and qualifying for the UEFA Champions League. Newcastle also finished as runners-up in last season's League Cup. It's pretty much the same story this season, with Isak getting off to a good start and firing from all angles. One of his best qualities remains his mobility, how he dribbles, drifts into spaces, and how he terrorizes defenders with his movements. On the international stage, Isak played for the under-16 to under-21 categories of the Swedish national teams before making his senior team debut in 2017, and since then, he has earned over 40 caps for the nation. But that's enough football for now. Is there anything spicy going on with Isak outside of the sport? Let's find out. Off the pitch, Isak's personal life remains relatively private, but there's one thing that we know. The Swedish forward might be single, or he might just be really good at keeping his relationship a secret. We can't be too sure. His social media leaves no trace of a significant other at the moment. In his free time, Isak unwinds by listening to music. He even listens to a track or two before any of his games. Interestingly, during his time at Sociedad, he was once spotted rapping on the bench before play. He says that music helps him get into the zone. Isak also loves good food, meat in particular. In 2022, after he had sustained an injury while playing for the Swedish national team, he was forced to go on a break. During this break, he made a quick stop at one of the nicest restaurants in the country, Miller & Carter on Mosley Street. He bought a medium-sized côte de bœuf from the restaurant, which is known for the exquisite meat it serves to customers. The chef that served him immediately went to Reddit to tell everyone about his experience. The Swedish prodigy also has a large following on social media, with almost 1 million followers on IG, but he isn't very active on Twitter or X. But that could change pretty soon. Despite amassing a fortune, Isak has decided to be prudent with his millions. He spends just enough to live a comfortable lifestyle and does not own a collection of cars, or the world's finest luxury automobiles like some of his peers. When he wants to have a nice experience, he would rather spend his money on a memorable trip to the Maya Bay Islands in Thailand. Last year, eagle-eyed fans in London suggested that Isak might be the owner of a Range Rover after they noticed a custom number plate which read 15AAK. But Isak didn't confirm or deny those rumors. We might not know all of his luxury properties at the moment, but we do know that Isak earns good money in one of the richest clubs in the English Premier League. Isak's net worth is estimated to be at least $18 million, which is quite crazy considering he's only 24 years old. Isak takes home £120,000 every week, which gives us a rough estimate of over £6.2 million a year. He also made a lot of money during his time at Borussia Dortmund and Real Sociedad. Isak has lucrative endorsements and sponsorship deals with Adidas, which adds a few extra bucks to his net worth. He isn't the wealthiest player out there, but it's a great start for the young Swede. Alexander Isak has a heart of gold. No matter how busy his schedule gets, Isak always finds time to reach out to his people back home in Eritrea. Aside from the charity work he does there, he continues to inspire young kids to look and emulate him. While Isak's career has been impressive, it hasn't been without its fair share of controversies. Because of his remarkable skill, the Swedish forward has always been in high demand, and in 2022, he traveled to London for a leisure trip, but people thought he went there to sign off on a potential transfer. Guess the team that wanted him? It was Arsenal. The Gunners really needed a new striker during 2022's January transfer window since some of their main attackers were leaving. Players like Alexander Lacazette were already getting ready to go since their contracts were almost over. One of their best, Aubameyang, had already gotten a transfer to Barcelona, so the board had to get things done quickly, and with that, they had eyes on Isak. Arsenal's technical director Edu was initially hoping to get Dusan Vlahovic on the team, but the lad had gone for Juventus even after hearing Arsenal's offer. Edu had to be proactive, and the next best gem on his list was Alexander Isak. The Arsenal fans anticipated his arrival and were pretty excited when they saw him with one of their own in London. Fast forward to a few months later, Isak had an interview where he was asked about Arsenal's interest in him, and after being asked a few questions, he expressed his commitment to his current team at the time, which was Real Sociedad. He said that he wasn't ready to talk about any deals, and that his focus was on the pitch. Isak was asked about what he thought of his future at Real Sociedad, and all he said was, "You can never be sure of anything in football." He told the press that his trip to London was mainly for pleasure and that it didn't involve anything related to his potential transfer to Arsenal. Unfortunately, after everything, Isak didn't end up with the Gunners. Our man ended up choosing Newcastle as he became the Magpies' record transfer signing. Now, that shouldn't be a problem since all footballers are entitled to choose any club they want, but it did leave hardcore fans disappointed and he received a little bit of backlash for it. Here are a couple things that you probably didn't know about Alexander Isak. Did you know that aside from being known as the new Zlatan, Isak's teammates do occasionally call him Giraffe because of his slender physique and long neck? The Swedish star has a towering height of 6 feet and 4 inches, but I'm not totally sure if he loves that nickname they've given him. Isak seems to have found a new home in Newcastle, and he seems to be doing pretty well at blocking out all the noise and just focusing on his football. So, how well do you see him performing this year?